All right, welcome to Cafe Chronicles.
Thank you, Ted.
Tonight we have Dnise Jonson. How are you?
I am super. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. It's good to be here.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
So, you're going to be doing a tribute to Randy Crawford.
Next Monday, April
Yeah.
27th.
Yeah. Fantastic. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I'm excited. I did it last year and I was so sick, but the
Oh,
band was fabulous. So I'm excited to be able to come back and do it in my wellness and honor her. I Randy never got all the accolades here in the United States that she deserved, but she was well known all over the world, everywhere else. Everyone really loved her. And what I discovered is that she is a great storyteller.
uh,
And she does it so sweetly, but it sometimes it could be haunting. Sometimes it could be just gushy and yummy, but it's always a sweetness to it. And I'm very um, interested and excited when I watch her sing because she doesn't dance all over the stage, she doesn't move much, but she is very impactful.
that's great that you can like dig into the pieces like that and
Yeah.
kind of use that to
Yeah.
bring that out in her music, right?
Yeah. And I think that's why Joe Sample loved her so much because he really appreciated her voice.
Hmm.
You know, it wasn't about the physique. It wasn't, she's not even in American way glamorous,
Yeah.
but she's fabulous.
Yeah.
She's fabulous. And she does a lot of covers. And it, it, I'm not sure how old she is now, but when she did "Knocking on Heaven's Door," and then she covered the John Lennon "Imagine,"
Yeah.
and she's very thoughtful and I believe strategic, especially in the songs that she chooses to cover. Now, Joe has written some songs for her, which are fabulous as well. Um, and she's always done a great job. She did one song called Almaz. And I'm not performing it, but she did, and it's one. She was really that was one of her most famous songs. I mean, aside from Street Life,
Hmm.
um, and she did. Oh, One Day I'll Fly Away, but Almaz. I think um, the story is that her neighbor who had fled from Ethiopia had asked her to write a song about his wife. And she was much younger than he was, but she said the love was so beautiful. And, they had one child. And just her observation of them together, it was just so awe inspiring. And the song is so beautiful. So one day maybe you'll get to
Oh
listen, just,
yeah.
pull it up and listen to it. It's called Almaz. And that was her name, Almaz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful song. So she's a very intentional, I believe,
Yeah.
when she's singing and even with her phrasing, she's quite intentional.
Yeah.
She's not all over the place. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she knows what she want you to get from what she's singing.
That's good. So you're trying to do that when you perform.
I
You're
w- I'm trying to definitely. I'm not. I'm not. I'm singing it the same. I feel the same. I feel like I share a spirit with her. And that's why a lot of the songs that she sings and the songs that I've chosen for my show on Monday are stories about things that are meaningful, not just then, but even still today.
okay.
Knocking on heaven's door with all the different wars and imagine with all the unjust and
Yeah.
things that are going on in the world. It feels like it's worse today, but then I didn't live. It was worse for her probably then, but it feels horrible today.
Yeah.
And so um, I can sing it and feel it and connect it to what's going on in our world today. So that's
Okay.
why I love her stuff.
Because I'm kind of interested to know. I mean, as a you're paying tribute, right?
Yes.
So are you feeling are you stepping into her shoes? Are you, because there's a fine line between mimicking and paying tribute, and
Yes, and what I don't do is people say I sound like her. I think it's just the raspiness that sounds like her, but her voice is so way much better than mine.
right?
But I honor her.
Okay,
It's my way of honoring her and the songs that she sung. I won't mimic her. I'm not a Nancy Wilson. Guess who I saw today? I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
that girl. I do sing, try to stick to her verbiage and her phrasing. And even sometimes
yeah.
the teeth thing,
Okay,
I love that about her. And it
yeah,
looks like she's always smiling, when she's
yeah.
singing. Um, and I have studied her in that way.
So you're
But
doing it in the spirit
in the
of.
spirit of her and in honor of her and who she is and
Okay.
in honor of her soul.
So I'm always interested in that, in the tribute thing. I'm in
Yeah.
the speaking of knocking on heaven's door. I'm in a Bob Dylan tribute band.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. I play
Okay.
I play keyboards, and I might be playing guitar soon. But um, and it's
Wow.
just interesting because sometimes the singer. It's very funny. It's very easy to make fun of Bob Dylan singing.
Really? I like Bob Dylan. I
Because
like him.
I'm a
That's why
huge Bob Dylan fan.
yeah.
But it's very easy to make fun of his voice. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That hey,
I know.
all that stuff. So
But everybody can't do it.
yeah, I know. But the singer that does it is fantastic.
Awesome.
Every once in a while he'll like
Yeah.
but and I've always in awe of how he can do it
Yeah.
where it's not you know
Yeah.
mimicking. And I'm
Yeah. I don't like there's a few when she sings sometimes she'll tag some of the words with
yeah,
and so I do that a little bit
okay,
when I remember,
yeah,
or sometimes I just do this just to get the sound that she has,
yeah,
so sometimes I'm like, how does she get that sound? How does that comes out so clear?
yeah,
And so I realize a lot of times how you hold your mouth, your teeth, where your tongue is placed, all of that stuff helps to dictate what sound is going to come out of your mouth, whether it's
okay.
going to be throaty, heady, nasally, however. So it's not a mimic, but I do watch her. I pay attention.
So you've studied, yeah,
Yeah, I do. I
and
do, and sometimes I've noticed, depending on what day it is, I love her for that also because um, one day she'll sing a song in D, and the next day she'll sing in an A flat or B
mm,
minor, and I'm like, "Girl, how you feeling today?" So it's like I'm not stretching it today. But y'all
yeah,
gonna love this anyway. So she's very creative and she's very skilled um, with the craft that God has given her. And I'm not going to, I'm not, I'll sound like her on some songs. Other songs I won't. It's just in honor of her and saying she covered this song, so I'm going to cover it and I'm going to remind you that Randy did this also.
okay.
Yeah.
What about the Dnise Jonson craft? Tell us a little bit about your history, about your singing.
My history, I grew up, as most black people, in church.
Uh,
My mom was a classic pianist, and actually, she was the only black in her school, but she was on the cum laude in high school and keyboard, and then she ended up joining church with my dad's mother, and so we were in a Pentecostal Apostolic Church, and she was the organ player, piano player, choir director, and there were 11 children, and we had a piano at home, and she had us all lined up, and that's your note, that's your note, that's your note, and we had a choir at home.
where was
And
this?
this was right here in Detroit. Grew
Okay.
up in Detroit in the Jeffries Projects, down the road from Diana Ross.
All right.
She was in the Brewsters. We were in the Jeffries. And the schools back then had music classes. They had choir. They had instruments. And my mom tried to teach all of us to play the piano, but only one really picked it up really well. I tried, but my left hand wouldn't. The bass
Oh yeah.
clef just wouldn't act right. So I did violin. And I don't know if you know of James Tatum, but he
Sure.
was, yeah, he
Mm.
was he was my choir instructor. And I played violin until they took all the instruments out of the school. So I've always loved and been around music my whole life. And I took me a long time. I almost, had a contract with the same one with Chapter One and Anita Baker, but I was too scared.
Oh, really?
I was too scared the day I was supposed to sign the contract. I was like, I ain't going.
Oh,
So, but I don't regret it because that was a different beast back then, especially for women. And
oh,
I didn't
really?
have a momager. Yeah,
Oh,
so
no.
God
Yeah.
only knows where I would have landed. So there's no regrets there. But I ended up, I sung with I dated, I think it's Harry Bowens. He was with Was Not Was and all those
Oh,
guys.
really?
Yeah. So I was always around music. Dave Miles and
Yeah.
Milestone and all those guys. And then I went into the military and I had a band in the military in the Coast Guard. And I also had a gospel choir in the Coast Guard, the first gospel choir of the
Fantastic.
U.S.
Yeah.
Coast Guard. Yes, I did in New York. And from there, I was stationed, ended up being stationed in Honolulu. I was in the Coast Guard and then stationed up in Honolulu, where I met the wonderful jazzy Azure McCall, who sung with the Staple Singers a lot. And she just dragged me along with her, and I did a lot of supper clubs for her and with her.
Huh.
And that's how I started doing jazz. And so I've been kind of all over the map with my music, but
Were you listening to jazz? What were you listening to?
I was listening to everything when growing up in the Jeffries, of course. Motown was the big thing back then,
Mm,
so anything Motown I liked.
yeah.
Anything Motown I liked, and then I listened to a lot of gospel, but I listened to Gene Carn and some of the ladies from back then, of course Anita Baker, and so I was a big R&B person for a long time. I didn't realize how much I loved jazz. Um, Jazz music until I actually went to Hawaii. That's when I was really introduced to jazz, and that's when I started learning a lot of the jazz songs and tunes. And then I, got to listen to some, the Miles Davis and the Dizzies and all the Coltrane's and all that stuff that I got to become familiar with. And of course, then I listened to Ella and Sarah and
Yeah.
all of those folks. And then Azure McCall did a lot of that. So I ended up doing a lot of that. And I did perform on with Don Ho in his
Really?
state. Yes, yes, I did with Don Ho. And
No kidding.
yes, and I performed with the Dale Courtney Orchestra, a 30-piece orchestra on multiple occasions in Honolulu
That's
in
great.
Hawaii. Yeah. And so I just kept going from there. When they came back here, I stayed there for quite a while, and I had my own band there, and we did a lot of shows on the North Shore. So we were doing R&B and just pop, pop and R&B on the North Shore of Hawaii. And then I got back here and I formed a band. I think Randall Poindexter, and then after him, I got with Robert Jones, who was the director for what the Temptations? I forget now, but Robert Jones, Hubie Crawford, Spider Man, all
Yeah.
those. I'm not Spider Man, but Spider Web,
Yeah.
all those guys. I mean, really big guys. And I get to do a lot with them over the years, and I ended up here. And I'm actually Mac. I met Sky when I was playing with Robert Jones and those guys in Ferndale. I did quite a while in Ferndale at Bart's Club there,
Huh.
right at 9 Mile and Woodward. Yeah, so
Wow.
I've been doing some stuff. I've been doing some stuff.
Yeah.
I don't make a lot of noise,
Yeah.
but I do what I do, and I'm okay.
That's
And
funny you mentioned Randall Poindexter because he just reached out to me, and I haven't heard that name since the cafe opened because he used to play cafe all the time when we first opened.
is that right?
And that was back in 2006, 2007.
Really? He
Yeah.
played Bakers with me for
Yeah. And
years.
out of nowhere, he texted me. So,
Really?
yeah. It's funny you mentioned his name.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
The ghost of Poindexter.
I know.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So, besides Monday, the 27th, with the Randy Crawford
Hmm.
tribute. What else you have? Anything else coming up, or
I have,
any other projects?
yes, in September, September the 28th, right here again.
Hmm.
We're doing the Aretha tribute, and there's 4 ladies.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're already rehearsing.
All right.
It's going to
Yeah.
be a big, big show.
Okay.
It's going to be off the charts fabulous. And thank you for allowing us to have it here
Oh,
first.
sure. Absolutely.
But other than that, I was doing The Office and with David Brandon and the All Stars. And then I just go around a little bit and, just to keep my chops. But I'm not really into me and Sky, I do a lot of the Sky stuff,
Hmm.
Scovington stuff, but I'm not out a lot to do kind of the same thing everywhere. So that's why, I kind of pick and choose where I go and how I spend my time.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. And hopefully that didn't come across a little snooty, but
No, it didn't.
some
It
people
didn't.
want to be everywhere every night, and I'm not that person. I'm one
Yeah.
person, and I love hearing different tributes. What, like I said, what you do here on Mondays is awesome, and
Yeah.
thank you for that, and thank you for
Oh, thank you.
Wednesdays
Thank you.
as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
girl
Gwen is
too.
fantastic.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I
I'm
love
glad she's
Gwen.
back around.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God. I know,
I know,
right?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, she was greatly missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah. Big
following
time.
her for years.
Hmm.
So there's a few people that I do follow,
Yeah. Yeah.
just not a lot.
Yeah. So, Cafe Chronicles, where we ask our guests
Hmm.
if you could recall a memory, something pops in your head that maybe happened to you at the cafe, be it a performance or something, or a show you've seen, anything that just kind of pops in your head.
Well, of course, I was so excited to have my first show here. Um, the cafe is, wow, is one of the most beautiful rooms, and I've been in a lot of rooms, and I've been in a lot of, I mean, upscale rooms,
Yeah.
and this is one of the most classy, beautiful rooms that I enjoy being in.
Yeah.
I
We
like being
lucked
here.
out. I mean, because it was a concession area, before we did.
Really?
It was, for the theater. It
Oh,
was just an empty space,
yeah, and the
you
bar.
know, and the bar.
Yeah.
There was nothing in there. There
I
was
remember way
absolutely nothing.
back, way back.
And I
Yeah.
mean, it was just, and there was no back bar really. There was no mirror up there.
Really?
We had I think it was Olympia Entertainment, but they brought in, bartenders, and there was
Yeah.
a system that, tubes were going downstairs to bring up drinks, and, it was all, it was just people would
Wow.
come in, before the show, and after the
Yeah.
show, the bartenders would leave, and
Yeah.
that was it. I mean, before that, back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
it was a coat check, it was a candy counter,
Wow.
it was a smoking lounge, those little
Okay.
closets,
Yes.
those used to be telephone booths, you know. So,
Who'd have thought? Who'd have
yeah,
known?
yeah. So,
Oh, that's classic,
yeah,
though.
I know. So then Vince Paul came in. He became president and artistic director,
Okay.
and he came in from New York and said, "This looks like a jazz cafe." So,
Hey,
yeah.
here we are, right?
So we turned it into that, and then Carl Allen, the great Carl Allen, the drummer,
Mm-hmm.
we just crossed our fingers, and it sounded great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Welcome to the birth of the
So,
Jazz Cafe,
yeah.
huh?
So I didn't mean to
That's
cut you off, but just
Oh
the
no,
room turned
but
out.
yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some photos on the wall of the phone booths and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But um, aside from my show, one of the shows I thoroughly enjoy is the Nina Simone
Oh,
tribute.
sure.
That is probably, yeah, that's my favorite show.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many times
Yeah.
I will see it every
It gets
single time.
intense.
It's
Yeah.
intense. It's beautiful. It's another can be haunting.
Hmm.
I was just watching her. on YouTube, and just she's just phenomenal. And when Faye Bradford does the tribute, she really brings it, to the
Yeah.
forefront. It's almost like going back. And so that's like probably one of my favorite shows. I've been here with Bob White. I've been here with the Motherfunkers. I've been here, of
Hmm.
course, I've been here Fort Sky, with Sky. I've done my own jazz thing with Phil. I've done my blues show with Bob White. I've done the Bob White show with Bob White.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I've done a lot of shows here. So, it's always fabulous to be here. Um, but if I have a show that I will make sure I see each and every single time I can, it would be the Nina Simone show
Yeah.
with Faye Bradford.
I don't know where it is, but have you seen the poster when Nina Simone was here?
Is it in the cafe?
It's
It's
somewhere in
somewhere.
Music
I've
Hall.
seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I think it's March 16th or so. It doesn't say a year though,
Uh huh.
but it said at Music Hall and it's got a picture of her. Yeah.
She was here. If she was alive, it would be so nice if she could come back.
Yeah.
Just one more time.
Yeah. I know.
Just one more time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I just think, the room is fabulous. What you all do is fabulous. All the different entertainment. Sky is doing a fabulous job. And, mixing it up, I think also adds to, what's going on in the cafe with the Tina Marie tribute, and then the Shaka Khan tribute,
Hmm.
who's to me not jazz, but she's still a fabulous singer. And the young lady, I can't remember her name, did it. She did a great job.
Kayla Stice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kayla, that's the Tina Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
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 And I love Tina Marie.
Hmm.
And I was sick, and I had every intention
Hmm.
on being here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, just, broadening, the sound and the genres too, you know, without stepping too far outside of
Yeah.
jazz.
So that's the one thing because it's called the Aretha's Jazz Cafe.
Absolutely.
So, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not all jazz. People,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
people think that they have to be jazz. I'll book a band. They're like, well, I'll try to play as much jazzy stuff. I'm like, no, I booked you for
For what you do.
yeah,
Yeah.
play your stuff.
Yeah. So I'm
So,
looking forward to some
mm.
other nights. I only come on Mondays right now, but I hear you have Sunday nights is an open
Oh,
mic night.
it's an open jam session. It's a
Oh,
jazz
mm-hmm.
Aretha's Jazz Jam.
Okay.
Scott Quinnell hosts it, so it's
Oh.
fantastic.
Oh,
It's very
yeah.
friendly and it's
Yeah, I've been around Scott
wonderful.
Cornell
Yeah,
for a long time with
yeah.
Joy Temple and
Yep.
Barbara Ware and those guys. And
Oh,
Kenny,
Barbara Ware. Wow, I haven't seen
Dr.
her in a while.
Teddy Harris,
Yeah.
Harold McKinney. I was around
Hmm.
all of those guys.
Yeah,
So
you should come down.
Marcus,
Yeah.
um, well, Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like spelled right?
yes,
Yeah. Right.
the bell, the
Yeah.
bell, the bell.
Well, hey, thank you so much for doing this, and I
Thank
can't wait
you.
for
Thank you for
April
having me.
27th. Yeah,
I'm looking forward
absolutely.
to it. I
All right.
appreciate you
Thank
and
you
your
very
time.
much,
Thank
Dnise
you.
Jonson. Thank you.
You have a blessed
All right.
evening.
You too.
Thank you.